So in the beginning, I know that I wasn't a target because I was a weak woman. I know that narcissists, they target people who are very empathetic. But what I learned today was that a lot of them target people who are out of their league or they feel like they're superior to them in some way. And I never looked at it that way before. You're considered a high value supply. And at the very first stage of this love bombing phase, it really does feel like you're in a wonderland. It's very intoxicating. You feel like you know, you're their best friend. They treat you so good and build you up and just love on you. And you do feel like it's a fairy tale. But you have to realize that this illusion is just built on imitation. I learned that narcissists, they do not bond with people. They can't. They can't bond being authentic. I say that often, that word. Authenticity. You need to have it, and narcissists do not have it. The way they bond, the way you think that they bond is through emulation. These kinds of people, they study you. They see your interests and your talents, your passions, and what they essentially do is mirror them back to you. So that's why it feels like you're on the same page as them. It seems like you have chemistry with them, and you're finally seen. I was always into music. I loved playing the piano. I was taking piano lessons since the age of 7 years old. And to this day, my dad tells me that I'm the one who learned how to play the piano the best. But my brothers and sisters were good too. I'm not going to deny them that, but my dad really wanted us to achieve something other than, our studies. And so he got me into singing. He encouraged me, and I didn't like it. I personally didn't like to be on stage, but I did sing for a couple years, and eventually I learned how to play the guitar. My uncle, Lucas, taught me how to play the guitar, and my only passion was really for the piano, but I never really pursued it. But, over time, when we first started dating, I just noticed that he wanted to do what I did. He couldn't read notes, so he decided that he wanted to sing, so he started playing in some bands at the church that his parents were at, and eventually he found some other groups where he would, start singing, and he really thought he was great. He thought he was something. Let's just put it that way. But the point is, I didn't realize at the time that he was competing with me. When they copy you, you have to realize that they embody something of yours that they lack. And I realized over time, the narc in my life, the one that was a parasite on me, wouldn't leave me alone, was with me 24/7, even before we were married. He was just constantly hovering over me. I realized he eventually rewrote history within his mind. He claimed that my skills or influences or, growth as a person was theirs. And whenever I would bring up the fact that, hey, I would sit down with you and teach you the piano, or I would, take you with me to my uncle's house so he could teach you how to play the guitar, none of that existed anymore in his mind. What he was telling people was that he was self-made. And to me, I wrote it off. I just said, okay, that's just him exaggerating. That's who he is. But I gotta realize at the end of the day, again, it's his internal emptiness and fragile sense of ego to where he built this mask, this narrative, this different personality that he thought people would love about him. And what he was actually doing was wearing other people's personalities. He was wearing my personality, what I like to do. And he latched onto that. And now that I'm thinking about it, it is so creepy. Learning more about narcissism and their underlying envy and eventual hostility towards you, they become, and I know I just stuttered, they become your biggest hater. And as time did pass, I felt like being expressive of my own emotions and being expressive with my own talents, it became unbearable. Like, he had to take over. What he lacked, he took over what I had, and I didn't realize it at the time that my dad brought it up to me. This was when I was singing and when I was playing the piano still, 20 plus years ago. My dad did say, "Hey, why does your boyfriend have to do everything that you do?" And I had no answer for him. I didn't realize what was happening. I just know eventually this person that became my husband eventually resented me. And it wasn't just for the things that he lacked, it was for the things that I've become, the things that I've been fighting for. He eventually shifted his fixation on somebody else. And I felt when that gravitating behavior, I don't know what else to call it, but he basically just stopped wanting to be my partner. It seemed like this guy, I don't know again if he's a homosexual, I could only assume. But this guy that he's talking to, he has physical strength, from what I heard. He gives the narc validation. They talk 24/7. And what I'm seeing is this person that was once my husband, he is embodying this person's world, his habits, and his identity, just as he did mine 20 plus years ago. And it's odd. What other word is there for it? It's strange, it's weird. And when he did discard me, it's because he found a new mirror. And that's the answer. He found somebody else to mirror. He didn't need me anymore. That's why he felt the need to get rid of me. And so, with that, I'm just trying to put my thoughts together. He abandoned his responsibilities. He doesn't pay attention to his children, and I often will say that. It's not like anybody's going to be able to do anything about it, obviously. I need to be their mom and their dad now, but narcissists are unable to maintain real connection. They don't have that. They obsessively chase external validation. I can see why he's at the gym all the time. If he's not at work, he's at the gym or visiting people. He was always very self-conscious of his appearance, and he needs that admiration. I feel like whoever he is in close proximity to, he's going to copy them. That's what he does. Narcissists are not good partners. They're not good husbands. They're not good fathers. Yeah, I said it. He's not a good father. He's never been. They are parasites. They feed on identities, they drain vitality, and they leave behind a broken family that is confused and in grief. And you might call me dramatic, but that's what I'm going through right now. Sometimes I feel like I'm good, but it's really confusing and I'm grieving. The most dangerous lie that he sold me is that I lost something special when I didn't. I was the light, and he was just mirroring it. He was mirroring my personality, my talents. I need to learn how to be okay with it and heal. And when I can stop finally asking why they changed, why they stopped mirroring me, they didn't need me anymore, and remember that they were just copying all along, I have to realize that my value was never something he gave to me. It was something that he tried to take. And he failed. He can never become me. He will never be me. I am myself. And I lost a parasite. And I need to be grateful for that.